Good evening. I would like to present a very special gift that I received this past Christmas from my dear friends Kathy and Abigail Hayes and Miss Esther Greenfield. If I told you these mermaids actually depict carvings on aspen trees here in Colorado, you might ask yourself, how did a mermaid end up in Colorado? And the answer is by arbor glyphs. Arbor glyphs are stories that are carved into aspen trees by herders as they migrate with their sheep through the southwestern Colorado mountains. These stories became the work of Esther Greenfield, who began documenting these arbor glyphs for the San Juan Mountains Association in conjunction with the Colorado State Historical Society. The story that unfolds as she inadvertently discovered these pieces of history lost to time hidden deep in the aspen trees is absolutely fascinating, but also the historical significance of these stories were enough to warrant federal grant money. Esther spent much of her time meandering through the aspen groves near her house, and one October morning back in 1998, Esther recalls a quintessential Colorado morning, and she was in the aspen groves near Bayfield, Colorado, and she was awashed in the hues of yellow and gold, and she said she felt like she was inside of an egg yolk. And it was at that moment she looked up and saw for the first time a carving on the aspen trees. And this particular one, high up on the aspen tree were the words carved, "No luck," below that, "Damn horse is gone," below that, "Snow," then "Walking out," and then at the very bottom, "Damn." And Esther started laughing and was absolutely delighted at this discovery of this message of intent that was left by somebody. And then after that, nearby in another tree was carved a similar message but abbreviated, but this time it was signed. The man's name was Jim Bates. So later, Esther discovered that most of the carvings were done by sheep herders from the Basque region of Spain and nearby New Mexico, but some, like the one she just discovered, were done by cowboys. And the reason she could tell this is because the cowboy carvings were up higher on the tree because the cowboy was up high on his horse. And from that moment on, whenever Esther was walking through the aspen fields, her eyes were wide open to all of these hidden messages that she never realized were there before. So in short, Esther's friend at the San Juan Mountains Association, Kathy Hayes, helped start a program to record these stories and organize volunteers to document carvings, but they were in a race against time before this cultural heritage disappeared forever. And as a result, the SJMA received federal grant money to document carvings older than 1955 because they were considered by the Colorado State Historical Society to be of significant interest. So I asked Esther how she was able to determine the age of the carvings, and she said by the style of writing, because from the 1800s to the 1960s, writing was taught using a script called Palmer style, which has really distinctive loops in it, and it's more elegant and intentional. It's not this random gouged out carving with hearts and arrows in it. So today, 16 years later, Esther has sketched and researched over 1,000 carvings. So on my particular vase that I received this Christmas, you'll see the words September 30th, 1944, and Lily May, and a mermaid. And then on this side, "Oh my dear sweetheart," and another mermaid. Well, the cool thing is Esther found these carvings in two totally different places, one in Ouray, Colorado, and the other one in Durango. And through her extensive research, she was able to trace these back to the same Basque sheep herder who was obviously missing the ocean in Spain, the mermaid, and his sweetheart, Lily May. I think that's the greatest story. Who knew? So something that really struck me was the interconnectedness of everything. Discoveries await if we only take the time to stop and look around as Esther did, and some with great important significance. This is an important story that tells the life of so many herders and cowboys whose stories from days gone by could have been lost forever. But thanks to Esther, she brought their stories to life, and an entire culture that could have been lost forever unnoticed as the trees fell with the forces of time and Mother Nature. So this piece of art turned out to be a piece of history and is now illuminating these unique and inspiring pieces. So Esther is currently working on an upcoming book titled "Reading the Trees, Long Hidden Messages Found in the Southwest Colorado Aspen Groves." And additionally, if you'd like to view some of her sketches, you can go on Fort Lewis College Archives website and look at some of her sketches until her book comes out. So here's to Esther. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop around and look at the hidden messages in trees. Thank you.